Good evening, Free Enterprise, and welcome to another. Wow, words are hard tonight. Monday night community race. I'm Bad Karma. I'm joined in the booth by John Burkhead. We've got Xenocat doing the tracking. Scala Kitty is doing the restreaming tonight, so you know we are in for one heck of a seed. And look at these flags. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm very excited about this flag set. It looks like we're going to have a really interesting race. This is a very different race from what I'm used to seeing between tournaments or the ladder races. So between this flag set and the fact that we have four very established, very good runners, I think we're in for a wonderful night.
Yeah, and one of the big features of this flag set, as you can see with these objectives, we do have the wacky flag Omnidextrous on, which means that any weapon can be equipped in any hand for any character. Any piece of armor can be equipped in any armor slot as well. So looking forward to seeing what we get in terms of people equipping things.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have Porum wearing 3 crystal armors, you can do that. Of course, that's going to be very difficult to do with this particular flag set because while they can equip anything, finding good stuff might be difficult. It's T-Pro and 60% sparse, which means that 40% of the chests that you normally find are going to be empty. We do have S-Wild, which means that we can buy basically anything, but we're at sell quarter. So the limited amount of things that they do find, they can't even sell for what they normally would. So there's a lot of options for these characters, but at the same time, it might be difficult to get the good gear on them.
Yeah, and one thing to note too, we are using the beta flags tonight. So a couple of the big changes that are coming up here, one of the biggest ones in my opinion is the fact that the back row glitch is not enabled. That is now by default turned off. So something that a lot of us runners are used to is, just equipping a boomerang on Edge, a bow and arrow on Cecil, sticking them in the back row, letting them take the half damage. You don't have that tonight. So something to keep in mind as these flags or the update starts to come out, that is a flag to be keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. And looks like we are about to get started here. So, got a Rosa starting off with Porum. Got a White Mage start.
Do we need all of these white mages with this darkness crystal?
Looks like we're getting a third character pretty soon, I would imagine.
Absolutely, that would be one of my first checks, especially with these two white mages. We get them some weapons. We do have the C Neki flag on, so we don't have any starting gear for our team. So we're going to be looking for some gear to get them going. Maybe another character, hopefully on the moon, to kind of help this party out.
Yeah, we do have no dupes on, so if it ends up being another Rosa or Porum, they won't be able to go ahead and take them. It is C standard, so there's no one that is barred from being in the character pool, so I bet they're trying to find a third character.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing media divergence. We've got 2 runners going to the moon, 2 runners going to Castle Eblin, hoping to find some gear. This is T-Pro. Castle Eblin is going to be a little bit higher chance for some of the higher end gear. Not going to be taking any trap chests, obviously, but hopefully just pulling, maybe a heroine robe if we're lucky, or, just a bow and arrows.
Makes a lot of sense because, again, with the limited amount of chests and the fact that they're not going to be restricted by what they can wear, they're going to be looking for any kind of high quality gear right away. So both moves make total sense. Between K Summon, K Moon, and K Main being on, I think we're going to see a lot of divergence tonight, and it's just getting started with this.
Yeah, already seeing the effects of this T-Sparse as well, seeing the empty pot there, having to get checked. So not what you want to see when you're checking that pot, and having to, use a little bit of time to get that dialogue box popped up.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot. Diamond Shield, Zeus Rage, which is a nice J item, but really nothing that they're looking for just yet with the early going.
Yeah, so if you were racing this, how would you feel about, would you be making this beeline to the moon like Asuka and Warlink are doing, or would you be, maybe doing some loot, doing a few checks before heading on up there?
I think I would. I think I would probably be up there to get a third character. It's interesting though because my gut reaction is, well, I have these 2. Oh, there's a black belt. That's not nothing. You have two general weak-ish or characters, but they can equip anything. So if one of these guys finds a Murasame, you know, Rosa can put that on. So I think I would just for the third character, which is a Yang, but I think both approaches are totally valid here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Yang is not the character you were hoping to see here. While, Yang gets, going later on in the game, his weapon damage doesn't necessarily scale with the weapons that we're going to find that you can throw on him. So definitely a big, not too worried about it. And this is an interesting move by Asuka. Asuka is going to go into the lunar subterranean, probably going to peek the Murasame altar at least and see who that boss is.
And knowledge can be extremely useful. We do have free bosses on, so if it turns out to be King Queen Alblin or at this point a very punchy water hag or something along those lines, it's good information to have as they're moving forward throughout the seed.
Yeah, one thing to note too that is going to be important. We do have 5 objectives listed on the board, but we do only need 4. So seeing that either the Murasame or the Masamune altar on there, and that's the Milan Sea, that's not terrible.
Nope, not for now, but it's definitely doable later. Looks like we have Harumph going into Watery Pass, which is an interesting choice with T-Pro being on. Looks like a strength ring was found. Warling is also doing the same. We probably won't go past the first room here without the ability to cast Exit, but they're clearly looking for more gear before they start to take on bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. As if you've been watching Free Enterprise for a while, when the T-Pro flag is on. Castle Evelyn, Watery Pass, both are 2 pretty frequent checks. They have some good density, and being out of the way spots, they can provide some uproom gear. Hey, there is a free boss there.
There is, and the magic power, I believe, is actually quite low here, which I'm assuming that Asuka knows. If they can withstand a few Fire 2s and Fire 1s, they might be able to knock out Cave Value within just 5 minutes into the seed, which I don't think I've ever seen that quick.
So I'm going to ask you this and see if you know this. Do you know why King Queen is even more free, even in a high magic spot?
I mean, I do, but I'm just going to let you say it, and then I'll tell you if it's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it is because these Fire 1s and Fire 2s that we're seeing only get 1 multiplier roll, so they only get 1 cast, whereas typically when an enemy casts a spell, they get multiple rolls on their spells to, rack that damage up. So no matter where King, Queen, Evelyn are, they are only ever getting 1 roll on their fires, which is what makes this, as we're seeing here, pretty free, and this is going to be a huge infusion of XP.
Yes, it is. Without a doubt. Looks like Harumph has found Tella over at Hobbs and is taking on an early Ruby. And if this is Ruby, that means that's elements at the Biken spot in Baron Castle.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing Tybalt taking a page, following Asuka as well, going to get this free fight out of the way. This is some heads-up play by both of these runners, peeking these bosses and, taking advantage of being able to, in fact, see these bosses. So this is going to be a key item check and some XP.
That's right, because K-Summon is on. I didn't even think about the item. That's a really good point. So, and to your point about the experience, we have 12 levels going up at a time here for both Porum and Rosa, which is just absolutely enormous in the early game.
Yeah, and already got Berserk on one of those, and that's a Baron Key. That's another character. Like I said, we do know that that's elements, and this party with a little bit of gear should be more than enough to get through Baron. And also, that's another big thing for Asuka. Asuka's going to have exit.
That's truly enormous for routing. That's true. Although Warlink will, assuming Warlink can get out of this battle, will have it as well. Because he'll have Tella.
Harumph finding some Baron guards in the bottom of the antline. It is a check that runners do like to fade, even though it is one of the easier spots. Typically, people want to wait at least until they have exit to avoid that walkout. But Harumph's got exit, so getting it knocked out.
Absolutely. So it'll be very interesting to see. There's a typical overworld routing that people tend to do, but given the volatility of these flags, you have to wonder how much. We're already seeing, Cave Bahama being attacked in 5 minutes. Going to be very curious to see what kind of routing people do moving forward. Oh,
wow!
So they can go anywhere.
The world is our runner's oyster.
Oh my goodness! If it's me, these things give me anxiety. Like, I prefer linear seeds, like John Go here. There are some runners, I'm assuming like the people that we have here, that enjoy the freedom to go ahead and route things brilliantly. I am not one of those runners. And Harumph is taking the ball and going with it. He's going right underground.
Yeah, and that's really big. There's the underground has a lot better loot, and it's got a lot of dense checks that you can go make. We have Tamra has about 5 or 6 chests in there. Dwarf Castle, if you want to do a little bit more running around to get some stuff, dropping in the Silk Cave if you want to try and get lucky on the trap chests. So there's a lot of good loot down there for Rumpf to just get through and maybe find some more weaponry. I believe, I think I saw Warlink has a wind spear on Rosa.
Why not? It's a wacky flag for a reason, so if that helps Rosa live her best life, then so be it.
Yeah, and Charlock, that is a good point. There are some hourglasses on the moon, but we do have sell quarter on. So all the stuff that we're finding, we're only going to be selling for a quarter of the price. So those hourglasses are going to be tough to be able to amass a good amount.
That is true. All right, Harumph doing a save outside of Feymarch. I'd be surprised if he didn't loot here until he gets to the warrior chest.
Yeah, and that's a good pick up the play. We got Auska going to be checking out the water pass. Going to find some goodies here, I believe. As we've got Warlink is checking out Damsian, still doing some looting as well. Tybalt just got back from his trip to the moon. We'll see where he decides to go, if he's going to start progressing through these bosses or not.
Yep, and he was actually checking out the weapon and armor shop. And again, with S Wild being on, I think that's a wise choice. Even if you can't afford anything right now, between the lack of bosses that we've had and Cell Quarter being on, if you find something that's useful that anyone can obviously equip, it's good to take a note to go back. So I don't think he saw anything in Mysidia specifically, but if he keeps checking the shops, I think he'll find something that he can use eventually.
We are going to get a few checks here from Auska as she is going to go a little bit deeper into this watery pass. I know one of the runners checked the back from the other airship landing spot, but this is going to be good for a couple of the middle chests as well, since she has exit.
So that early play possibly paying off. That bandana is always nice to have. So
yeah,
we'll
I believe Tybalt has 2 black belt gis on his yacht.
I mean, why not? That's the beauty of the flags, right? Looks like Tybalt is actually going into the sewer, so we're going to be seeing elements on his side very soon.
Yeah, following up on that gamble is what Tybalt's doing. Was able to peek that Baron key, says, you know what, I'm going to double down on this check. I'm going to go check this out, and I have the power, I have the levels to take care of this.
I like it. It looks like Harumph found the pass as the Feymarch freebie, and has also found sirens for sale, which is extremely helpful when it comes to time to grind.
Even early on, that's something that I don't see a lot. I'm seeing more runners do, is finding those sirens, and maybe if they have the means to take out an egg, just popping it early, get that early infusion of XP. There's no reason that says you have to do them all at once.
Absolutely. Auska and I believe Tybalt also kind of already did that on the moon a little bit to get those early levels. But when you combine those sirens with also the hourglasses that are for sale on the moon, I would be very surprised not to see a gold dragon grind at some point near the end of this match.
And here we go with elements for Tybalt.
Possum will be delighted to find out that his namesake looks like it's going to be Tybalt's anchor for the duration of this seed.
Yep, and it looks like Warlink is going to be finding his Magma Key here shortly. Just a Kaipo guard, so not a fight that is going to give him an issue.
Now, if you're going to find that fight, you really don't want to find that fight at an antlion. You'd rather find a wyvern or an ogo or something that's a little more rude at that spot. It's probably not the greatest feeling in the world to, on one of the easiest spots in the entire game to be finding the Kypogirds, but what are you going to do?
Asuka is going to give the water ball check. We do have no free key item on, so we are looking for a Demus, so good idea to be keeping an eye out for these bosses. We are only a couple of key items away from go mode.
Which is crazy. I love it. I love everything about it. Looks like Tybalt is raiding down by the Odin spot before Odin, getting some extra gear, which is extremely smart. You don't often see people looting up here, but with the flags being what they are, that's a good move. And that Charm Rod can come in handy if they end up with a Black Mage at some point.
Even Tella wielding some Virus Cast, that's going to be big for him, because he's not going to be bonking things with it. He's going to be wanting to throw some spells that he can't remember.
That's correct. Let's see if Harumph validates the seed for us. A Yard Master.
A Yard Master.
Do you have any idea what a Yard Master does?
I assume that is somebody who is a master of the yard.
See, that's something my students would say, and yet I can't, disagree. So
he can only take care of things 3 feet in front of him.
Oh god, that's a dad joke for the days. So I like this move from Asuka going through Damsian, because since Pinktail is one of the objectives, it's very likely, there's only 4 out of 5, but it's very likely that you're going to need to go ahead and get the hovercraft anyway, so might as well get some extra loot, so I feel like that was a pretty heads-up move.
Yeah, and Moboy says it's the top person at a training.
Thank you, Moboy. There we go. No idea. Alright, looks like Tybalt's dealing with Baigen in the Kanazo spot. So we will probably very quickly be seeing who the character is from there, as well as the key item.
This is a deceptively tough fight, I think, for Tybalt, because the low amount of characters, and even though we're pretty well defended against physical attacks, we're not doing a whole lot of damage quite yet. So it's gonna be a slog, I feel like. Whereas Harumph is coming from the underground and is going right into Babool for Sheila 1 as well.
So we'll be seeing quite a few items all at once here. It looks like Tybalt has Yang in the back row, if my eyes do not fail me, which they often do. So that's good for longevity and a good safety, but that's definitely going to make this fight go a little bit longer.
But Yang is wielding the boomerang, so is properly back row to do his full damage.
There it is. Yang being back row, because of course he is.
Yep, and we've got Warlink, who has made his way to the underground, going to be doing some of the same checks that Harumph has done. Harumph is through that Octomammoth, though. That squid gave no issues, and I'm surprised that, some of these other checks, haven't been completed. We still haven't seen a single person go up 4 deals, and Tybalt has found a food.
Oh, that changes things. Just a very little bit. I don't believe it's vanilla Fu, which means we might see Tybalt do Mist and Waterfall, depending on what spells Fu currently has at this point. But that is huge.
Okay, I won't lie. This is the first time I've seen the rework cutscene. That is awesome.
Hilarious. Oh my goodness.
And a rat tail.
Alright. Just need a hook.
Can't turn it in yet. Need the hook, as you just said. So is one of those things where, nice to have. We do need to turn in Pink Tail as well.
Absolutely. So I'll be curious to see what spells who ends up knowing. Looks like we might have a Baron in check over here.
Yeah, 2 quick bosses trying to get through some spells really is what this is. Oh, a tiara. Nice pickup right there.
That absolutely is. That'll go really nicely with the Charm Rod for Fu.
Fu can be pretty.
He can.
that.
As someone who's going gray, more gray by the day, you know, a little salt and pepper. It's give the man whatever he wants.
I am not sure where Asuka is. Is Asuka? Oh, Asuka's on the second fight variant. Ah.
It's a very slow spot and very that's not a bad spot to have Mylon and friends. It just might be a little bit tedious.
Yeah, but both runners doing it have the tools. You know, we saw Tella rocking a dancing dagger. We've got Tybalt with Fu.
I'd imagine we'll probably see Tybalt go to Ordeals next between. Well, he doesn't have the Tella, but just the fights up there might go ahead and get Fu a little more online. And plus, another possibility for a key item.
There's the hook.
Hey.
We are now 2 out of 3 items away from go mode. I mean, any combination of 2 items can get us go mode at this point.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. But given K Moon, K Summon, and K Main, it could be a. I mean, I understand. You know, we're so close to go mode, and yet I feel like it could still be quite some time before we get there.
Oh, the best part too is that 2 of these objectives are terminal objectives, so that package doesn't lead to another key item. You know, that pigtail just gets you an adamant armor. So our runners are not looking forward to be hunting those down.
No, rather not. I think I just saw Star Veils for sale, so that's going to be helpful. Looks like that's at that's for Asuka, so I think Baron Inn has Star Veils. So if we run into a Rude Golbez or a Rude Wyvern, but for Golbez or maybe even a Asura, that might be a point where they have to come back to.
Absolutely, and Tybalt's gonna be checking the basement. This is an interesting play. I would have liked to have a few more food spells, but maybe. Oh, okay.
And he says, we'll do that later. Although, speaking of things that the Star Veil will be helpful for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those ice cubes are a little punchy over there.
Harumph, meanwhile, found the Demas, so bonus round has been found on Ordeals.
Yep. Which Porum is clearly, obviously, using a fire sword against, because that's what we were all taught to do when it comes to Demas in the back attack spell.
Yeah, wield whatever you got to take us down.
Hopefully Harumph remembers to check it in. Not that I've ever forgotten, except that I always forget. So hopefully that's not something that happens.
I'm pretty sure we've all done it. And if you know, it happens to everybody, so hopefully it gets checked. But we will see where he goes, what he's got. He still has another fight after this, so. But,
Ooh, did Yang just win an entire fight with a kick?
I believe so. I believe he did. Said, these dolls got nothing on me.
Sounds like you see every day.
Oh, I must have missed Harumph. Did Harumph check the Fey March bosses? Because that CPU and that Asura in the vanilla spot.
I mean, in a sense, like any CPU spot is technically free, because it's a percentage damage with the attacker. It's just a matter of how much time do you want to spend. And since the Leviathan spot has like 35,000 K or whatever it is, that's going to be a little while. So I don't blame either runner for. They're probably waiting for either Porum or Rosa to get wall, and until they have a better attack output, because otherwise those fights are just going to take forever.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is how much time. Oh. Ironically, Harumph is the best equipped for this, due to not having filled out his party yet, so having only 3 characters.
There it is. And we made the comment about the Star Veils being for sale. I don't know if anyone bought them. Although, is the magic so low here that they can just attack and get the 1,000 damage before anything really happens?
I believe so, because Porum is rocking that fire sword, as Charlock has said in chat.
Well, there we go. Thank you, Charlock.
Yeah, if you were unaware, Golbez is weak to fire, so he takes the elemental damage, and so Fire Sword will make some short work.
Alright, let's see how this goes in here. Asuka's using that hook, so we might be having some turn-ins now.
Yep. So it does not have the rat tail, but Asuka is looking probably for Cape Evelyn. Gonna check out another character, another shop, some more loot.
My apologies.
Yeah, she hasn't gone through Baron, so doesn't have the rat tail yet. So that could be why it hasn't gone there yet. Ooh, Ninja Jammies, one of my favorite pieces of armor.
You don't see it equipped all that often. You really don't. I think because Edge is naturally so fast, but on this flag set, that doesn't really matter.
And ironically, I believe it's the second highest magic defense armor. So really good piece of gear to have on when you can equip multiple pieces of body armor.
Absolutely.
Hey,
well,
anybody got some money?
It's adamant and cursed ring at that shop.
Yeah, that's a shop to be worth remembering.
Yep, if they can get the money for it. That's I don't know. Get enough money, but they wish Duke Witch was on. The 3 adamants on everybody. just go to Z right now. Oh my goodness.
I would try at least.
Yeah,
but as things, adamant armors are tier 8. So if you start pulling some of these trap chests, there is a chance, pretty low chance with T-Pro, but still a chance that you can pull it.
That's a cane and a sparkle at the ruby spot.
I suspect that Kane could not get into this party any faster. There's a package from the D-Mist.
Does that count as vanilla? I guess not. Not exactly.
I'm going to call it French vanilla.
Aha. Ooh, I like that. And it's hard to believe that's actually going to be our first objective tournament, it looks like, 25 weeks into the season.
Yeah, immediately able to turn it right in. Gonna have to go through this cutscene, but everybody will. So it's just, heads up play to remember to turn in the D-Mist there for Rum. It is going to be possibly required.
And it looks like Asuka has elected to ditch Porum and take the cane. It's probably the right decision, since you already have Rosa for white magic.
Yeah, I believe that's a decision you make 11 times out of 10.
Porum doesn't get enough love. Like, I understand her limitations, but early game, and especially in the normal game, with how quickly she can learn Berserk and Blink, and Exit for that matter, she's not so bad. But in this particular situation, it's kind of a no-brainer, I suppose.
Haven't found Iridia to make use of that Bahamut summon that could be purchased, but again, probably don't have the money for it either. Warlink is checking out these shops though. This is a, that's a underrated shop. I feel like with that rune axe there. If we find, for that Asura possibly later on.
Absolutely. There's a lot of divergence going on right now with a wide open. This could go. I couldn't even tell you who's in the lead at all right now, because it's a free-for-all of opportunities, objectives, and choices. So this is a lot of fun to watch right now.
It'll be interesting if Tybalt goes. I thought he was going to turn that rat tail in, but.
I mean, they always say check your freebies, right? And then if that ends up leading to something like Twin Harp, then you're in go mode.
Wait a minute, hold on. I missed something. Where did Warlink find the pigtail? Did I miss that?
He did find. Okay. And this is a good time to mention that Xenocat is doing our tracking, and they are doing an amazing job keeping it honest. So, Xenocat, thank you so much.
Yeah, I get really confused when Scala Kitty rolls seeds like this. It makes everybody just go everywhere, and I can't, keep track of them. Thank you, Scala Kitty.
Throwing Scala under the bus.
I was gonna thank her.
All right. I don't know if that's quite the way it came across, but okay.
Sorry, I was gonna thank Steve. My apologies, Scala, for rolling a fantastic seed.
I'm having fun. I'm not sucking up. Right. So Tybalt going down to the Fey March, a little more powered up now. Have to wonder if he's going to feel comfortable taking on the Fey March bosses here.
With this food, this leveled up and stuff like that, possibly that Asura, not too terrible if Fu can just throw a wall up.
That is true. It's a little punchy, but not awful. And given the ability to equip all the things, they can probably withstand a punch a little bit. Kane looking at a Dark Knight Cecil at Ordeal, so you have to love the irony.
Yeah, so Harumph is now in go.
In 28 minutes. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah, as some of you chat is pointing out right now, if some people are not aware of some of the history with Free Enterprise, Harumph is actually a anti-harp checker, not for what the harp does, but just for the length of the check to get such wonderful music played. So as chat was pointing out, Harumph found a way without having to do the harp objective.
I like that you, Tybalt says nope to that Fey March. I do appreciate that you distinguish the fact between the length of the check and the music itself, because people like Coding Tunes and Zeno Cat have done such a wonderful job of the songs themselves, but the check does absolutely take forever.
Here we go. Pigtail turn-in, adamant armor about to be acquired. Now, the interesting thing will be is that Harumph did not go and get that Baron Key, so is not going to have that Fu that, some of the other runners have. By other runners, I mean Tybalt. So that is going to make things a little bit more difficult for him, but he also has all the tools necessary to just go and grind, can do Sirens, can do D-Machines if he wants. So it's whatever he feels comfortable doing. So it's going to be finding this other Kane here in a minute, checking these shops, checking the loot.
And he certainly has the skills to go ahead and do whatever is necessary. A Fu is nice, but it's certainly not necessary to, complete it. So, when he ends up finishing, he might be a little sad at not having Fu in the long game, but I don't think it's going to prohibit him from finishing this in a timely fashion.
No, not at all.
Speaking of grinds, I find it interesting. Asuka's keeping both Kane and Palom down, and I don't think it's for anchoring. I think the plan is to slingshot them at some point.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see whether Asuka ends up doing a D-Machine because she has Tella, who will have weak, or if there's a particular lunar boss, something like the Ogo spot that has a lot of experience, or even one of the giant bosses. Be interesting to see what she ends up doing there to go ahead and get those two up to their levels.
I would think if you're gonna go with the Palom, then you're probably thinking D-Machine. That's gonna be the quickest way to get Palom to nuke. We haven't found another big fighter to go with this Kane and to go with this Yang, so is probably thinking something along those lines.
Probably. Only at 4 key items right now, though, so it might be a little while before they end up doing that grind, so hopefully not too long.
Tybalt is about to fight the squid, though, going to be getting his pigtail. I do not believe he has gone to Ordeals yet to find the D-Miss, as we've got Asuka and Warlink both taking care of that required boss fight right now.
Everyone's making very steady progress, and doing so, even though we have such different routes, they're all working pretty efficiently, it's always fun to see divergent routes end up crisscrossing and ended up coming together near the end.
Yep. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Harumph doesn't have Earth Crystal, but I guess he's just looking for checking out the shops and looking to buy something here.
Bacchus wines. That would be something that I would be selling some things for. Get Bacchus wines. That's going to really help manage your Z fight. Even though you've got 3 Berserk casters with your current party, if you're going to go that route, or if you're going to level everybody to Nuke and White, then you don't need Bacchus. But
So you're absolutely right. A couple of Bacchus and life pots are always very handy to have. Life pots are one of those things that you don't realize how useful they are until you're doing a seed where they're not available, and it's like, oh, life pots.
life pots are great. I mean, the life glitch is on, so it definitely opens up a number of other grinds. You know, mentioned D Machine. Charlock just mentioned in chat gold dragons with the sirens. You only need a handful of those. We do have hourglasses available to us if we wanted to go that route. So a lot of options for our runners when they decide to get down to the nitty gritty of how to get their Z fight levels.
Yeah, those gold dragons are no joke. If you have 10 key items and the life glitch, that's 180,000 experience per shot, and that's not nothing. Warlink going with mute strats to avoid getting paralyzed. That's not something you see very often. And that's some really good heads-up play.
Yeah, if you are unaware, in Free Enterprise or Final Fantasy IV, there is a priority system for status effects. So if you have a status effect on your character that is higher than a different status effect, the lower one will not apply to your character, depending on the priority. So hold is pretty low-ish on the priority, so a lot of things are gonna make sure that hold doesn't take effect. So that's why mute, poison, piggy, toad, size, all those will keep you from getting the Golbez paralyzed.
Harumph found moon veils over at Silveria. That could be very handy at the Massa Altar. That spot could be very, very punchy. And for those that don't know, moon veils, not only do they cast a very extended wall or reflect, but they also have blink put on as well. And since every character can essentially be a melee character, given the flags, that could possibly make that fight essentially free. So it'll be interesting to see if they go back for that moon veil at any point.
Yeah, and if with Asuka checking, we know the Murasame altar is just Mylon Z. So one moon veil makes that fight really free.
Indeed it does. So with Harumph being in go mode, he just sold his sirens. Ether 2s, yep, we got a D Machine coming right up.
Yeah, looking at Harumph's party, that would be my guess to get this party online, have a whole bunch of mages set up, even with not having 10 key items. That's still, probably his quickest way to getting all these mages leveled up.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see. Do we remember? I don't. If Harumph checked the Moon character or not?
I don't believe Harumph has, because I'm not seeing a whale here.
See, that's that reasoning. There's that logic. That's I'm so in awe of your commentary right now. So I'd be willing to bet that once he's done using Tella for the grind, he might dump Tella and then use the Moon character as their anchor. But we'll see.
Tybalt, though, is on Matt Ortiels, is going to be, not knowingly, in go mode once completing, because that D-Miss leads to the package.
Interesting to see what they do for grind as well. Oh, Rosa looking deep into DKC's eyes. Such tragedy.
And that DKC just saying, wave!
And Fusoi saying, go away! with a massive fire.
So we don't need to hear your speech about justice.
Oh, we don't have time for that. We gotta go fast. This is a race.
But Asuka is going through Baron Castle, so is going to be getting her Fusoya, which not sure if that will change how she's going to be doing the seed or not.
If I had to guess, I'd imagine Fu would be taken, especially if you're keeping Palm, you're probably thinking at a minimum hybrid strats, possibly full-blown reflect strats. Palm staying down still keeps him there for a slingshot. And if I had to guess, Fu will be replacing Kane, but we'll certainly have to see. Asuka's done enough of these seeds that she knows what she's doing. So we'll see what she does there.
Flurry brings up a really good point, though, wondering if anybody would be willing to do some 1200 strats with this Fu with an adamant armor, Fu and friends definitely on the table. Um, with Kane, with Yang, with Rosa, those are all characters that can get over 1200 HP with just a handful of sirens. So that is another option to go with as well.
And to elaborate on Flurry's point, no one is even close to 10 key items. So, you know, Harumph is doing his D-Machine grind, but the lack of the experience bonus might be keeping people away from wanting to do that. So that's an excellent point, because, you know, doing eggs will get people up to 1200 a little quickly, and then you don't have to worry about getting someone like a Palom up to nuke.
Yeah, and I would assume most of our runners are going to have an adamant armor before going up to tackle that Murasame Masamune altar. So, you know, even with Fu with an adamant, is going to be able to, you know, make pretty good work once he's fully powered with nuke.
100%. Looks like Tybalt might have had a reset I might have caught in the corner of my eye. Looks like he swag walked into the Legend Sword altar, but then once he saw that it was Golbez, had to go ahead and reset. So that's a little bit of a time loss, but with this party, probably not too much.
Yep, and it looks like Harumph has the fight that he wants. D-Machine has begun. I do not have the calculator up to know how many he's going to need. It looks like base level Palom, though, is going to need probably, I think, with life glitches, 9, if I recall.
Which is not that bad. I was familiar with life glitch. You know, for when I started running Seeds, I became very aware of, you know, how difficult the rhythm of D-Machine can be. You know, when you're just watching it, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you just kind of go in order. It's tricky. It's really tough, especially if the agility's a little out of whack. So I'll be curious to see if they can get any double life glitches off. We got a couple white mages in there, plus life pots. It'll be interesting to see how this goes.
King tried to take care of himself and rolled a 2 instead of a 5.
He's a survivor, what can I say?
There we go.
Jan making good work of the Earth Hammer, because of course he is. Because why not?
Yeah. Good way to just get some multi-target damage. You know, not a lot of people know that you can use the Earth Hammer as an item to get a budget quick. So not doing great damage, but still it's, you know, AoE damage hitting everything. So good way to just knock things down.
Sure. Warlink is burning down the Village of Mist, so he will be getting his first objective very soon, which is good for him.
And already has the pink tail and hook, so he's in go mode as well. So he is trying to figure out how he's going to be getting his party up to fight Z as well.
And it looks like Harumph is figuring out his turn order. Interesting.
It may not be... may have got a turn wrong or something like that. Trying to figure out how best to summon these D machines is something you got to take into account. You don't want to do too much damage to the searcher, but at the same time you want it to be consistent. You don't want to be missing or anything like that. So trying to make sure he's got the turn order set and memorized in a cohesive rhythm.
You know, Kane can be quick, but he's base level. Down at level 10, so that won't script the agility too much. It looks like it went through the turn order in the normal progression. So it looks like Palom will be getting the kill, and then with Kane doing the life. And then you have both white mages in the back for healing and probably for ethering as needed. So that's actually a really, and I'm willing to bet that's intentional, that's a really good setup for this grind. That's really, really well done.
Yeah, and while we have our runners...
I just saw the chaos, so I'm sorry. Oh, that's phenomenal. Oh, that's so good. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. And while our runners are backtracking or whatever, if you haven't done so, please give them a follow. They've been putting on a great race for us. And keep in mind, too, these are not the only runners tonight. We have a good number running tonight. 17 entrants are going on, so just these four against the others as well. So who knows how these races will go? But it's really interesting how our runners on the restream have been doing. So give them a follow if you haven't already. Also, thank you, Xena Cat, for doing the tracking, keeping us honest in the chat. Skylar Kitty rolling the seat, and making commentary debut is John Burkhead.
Thank you very much. And Karma, you've been nothing but kind and wonderful with great energy and easy to follow. I love this community very much, and any opportunity I get to be more involved is just a privilege and a pleasure. So it's just wonderful people all the way around here. So follow all the people because everyone's doing wonderful work.
Yep. So Warling now has the news. I'm in go mode. What am I gonna do? He did not do Baron Castles because he did not do the King Queen spot. So doesn't have the foo. So trying to figure out how he wants to tackle the seed. Auska needs to visit for Bull to get her pigtail.
Indeed, she does. Apparently, after taking 1,800 damage to the face from an Ice 2, she said, "You know what, Leviathan? I will see you later." Tibalt doing trap chests in Evelyn. I guess looking for some high-quality gear there, or for something specific.
Yeah, this is a good little XP spot. Also good for gear. I think it's just kind of doubling as that as Tibalt tries to figure out. May not feel confident yet with the gear that he has found.
Which, between the S-Bar 60 and T-Pro, that's not crazy.
Auska hasn't checked the Demas yet. She made it seem like I was wanting to check some of these item shops first, though.
Yeah, and again, S-Wild is on, so checking shops is certainly a good life choice. Ooh, nothing ninja shirt. There we go. Yeah, having a foo in your party does make these Evelyn traps just a scotch easier, just a little bit.
There's that Avenger. Definitely out of the price range, though.
As are so many things.
So my question is, all right, chat, who's been counting how many Demon Machines Harump has done? I know I haven't been.
Nope. Tibalt did just find a Dragoon Spear, though, so, and with Sirens for sale, you have to wonder if he'll end up doing eggs, because he could one-shot those things. Oh, more than two. Alright, that's good, that's good. But that's,
Yeah, Adamant Armor, Kane, Tibalt is about to find said Kane, so that could definitely put eggs on. Oh, he is not going to find said Kane, proving me wrong.
But fortunately, anyone can equip the Dragoon Spear, so Adamant Armor, anyone will definitely go first.
I keep forgetting the Omnidexter's flag is on.
Dude, I know. It's... I love this flag set, and more specifically, I love not running this flag set because the options, it's too much. Anyone can equip anything. We found Magma Key and Darkness Key so quickly they can go anywhere. It's too much freedom. Better them than me. Rosa with a Charm Harp hitting the alert. Sure.
Hey, it works as long as it hits.
So if you are Harumph, after you finish this grind, I guess we're going straight to the moon for Mura, Massa, and then off to Z. So he's probably the closest to the Z fight of our 4 restream at the moment.
That would be my guess. I would be coming out of this fight and beelining immediately to
Tybalt has 2 moon veils. You have to wonder if he's going to be keeping those for both moon fights. And with Auska checking the shop for hourglasses, so maybe she's doing... Oh, no. Ether 1, so she might be getting set for a D machine grind herself. Tybalt's
Yep.
definitely looking for gear. I mean, he's doing the free treasury now in Troya. I don't know what specifically he's looking for, but he definitely doesn't feel like he has enough.
Tybalt did not finish Ordeals. I just noticed that his Tela does not have the rest of his spell list.
Yeah, Flurry bringing up a very good point in chat. Might just be looking for things to sell for more elixirs for 1200 strats, which will be harder with Cell Quarter, but certainly not impossible. Man, Harumph is still going on that grind.
He should be probably wrapping up here soon. Like I said, I think it's 9 without any slingshots, without the double experience. I think it's 9.
Okay. All right, with Asuka's grind, I'm going to try to keep track. I got a pen, I got a paper. I'm going to try to, count to 9, which I feel like I can probably, maybe, possibly not do.
I learned a long time ago that you should not count on stream. Not just when you're commentary. Just when you're streaming yourself too. Don't count.
Oh, so I've been doing. See, that's funny because that's what I do. Back with ZC4 when you had 10 Thor rages, like it did the counting for me. It's like, it's great.
I look for little counters like that to keep track of my stuff. That's the only way that I can do it.
Absolutely. Which sounds ridiculous. Like I know it sounds like I'm kidding. I'm not. It's like, wait, how many did I do? Oh man, it's like the equivalent. Like when you leave the house, it's like, oh man, did I turn the lights off? No, it's like you're sure you did, but it's over. Like you don't know where you are anymore.
All right, looks like Tybalt is still doing some more looting. We've got Warlink also doing some shopping, trying to figure out which way he wants to go. Harumph is killing off Tela, so probably at the end here. Tela is resilient.
Did Porum just miss twice with 2 weapons on an old man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
And Harumph is done with his grind.
Almost 800,000 experience.
49 levels.
Does that mean that Palom just got like 1.6 billion-ish, 1.5?
Yes. Same with Kane, being the base level Kane that he is. So both Kane and Palom probably close to. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! 5-year-olds aren't known for their accuracy. Fire Red Blizzard. When my daughter was 5, I'll have you know that child could hit me at any point, so I would politely disagree. The kid just finds a way to smack me.
To be fair, probably wasn't aiming to hit you, though.
You know what? That's a solid point. Probably right. A level 59, 2,300 HP on Palom.
I don't think that's enough. No, you're gonna need a little bit more for Palom to make it through that Z fight.
Yeah, fiery splash damage. I'm like, that's a hilarious joke. That's not getting nearly enough love. That is phenomenal. That has made my night. I appreciate you. That's fantastic.
Asuka is getting her Z fight set up. Harumph did a little high five to Asuka on the way out as she was coming in. And it looks like Asuka may have... Nope, not quite yet. Very deceptive. That's a horseman. There, I think she's got it now.
All right, good. The step chart can be also stressful to try to follow. That can also be a difficult thing.
Yeah, there are 2 step charts that you can use to get this D machine during the football gauntlet, or not football gauntlet, Lally Ho League when we tried doing with no run. We had some community members come up with a step chart to make it so that you can take some easy fights down outside of Baron to do your giant manipulation to get your D machine. You can also use the standard one that the vanilla run uses. They're in the giant, which is what Asuka was doing.
It's amazing what the people in this community can figure out and figure out how to do. it's nothing short of exceptional.
Absolutely. And it looks like we've got Tybalt is heading up to the moon. We've got Warlink setting up as well to go to the moon. Yep, possibly, maybe.
So if Tybalt is doing 1200 strats, that's all fine and good, but he is in go mode, but he doesn't have the crystal. So he won't have the levels that Harumph has, taking on the Mura and the Massive Spot. Now we know the Mura Spot is Mylon Z, which isn't too bad, and he does have those Moon Veils. So if he combines a Moon Veil and if he bought a Bacchus, I mean, I guess technically that fight is free. But we don't know what's at the Mura Spot, and if it's something like Magus Sisters or something along those lines, that can be a really, really, really nasty spot. So it'll be interesting to see what boss we find down there.
Yeah, but Adamant Fu.
I mean, yeah.
Adamant Fu will provide.
Like a loaded grandfather with a decent inheritance.
I mean, he owns the moon. Like he's the only Lunarian that's awake. So I gotta think that he owns the moon. Like,
yeah, but there are two moons. All right, maybe he could have, I don't know, divested his investments and gotten the other one. He still owns the moon. Like he's selling trips back and forth at this point. Like you know, it's like, oh, you want to go to the moon? You know, Bezos. Yeah. Gonna get an Uber. Yeah.
Lunar Uber.
5 stars. That'll be a healthy tip. Do Hummingways have to pay rent on the moon?
For this headcanon to work, I think they absolutely need to.
Probably. So is that like an apartment complex at that shop then? Is that why they're all just chilling down there?
I mean, and that's why they have a shop, is so that they can make money to pay rent.
All right, so we've discovered the economy of the moon. This has been a very informative stream.
Fire Blizzard Antlion is Fu's pet. Can't stray far from his abode.
Alright. And this has been Talking Through D Machine Grinds with Karma and Burkhead. Alright, what does Tybalt get for his
a pan?
Something tells me he will not be turning that in.
I don't believe so either.
Not so much. We're gonna have a long walk down, so despite being less leveled, he is, in terms of the 4 restream, he is 1 fight ahead. So it's gonna be interesting to see. You have to imagine, assuming that both Harumph and Tybalt get through the Massive Spot with no problems, Tybalt will enter the Z fight first. With the lower levels, the Z fight will take more time. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, with the reflect strats that these low-level 1200 Fu and Friend type strats will be, they have a potential to be fast since you only have to deal half the damage. But it looks like Harumph is actually going to be doing pure reflect strats. Even though that Kane has almost 4,000 health, I assume he's going to be on chemist duty with 2 white casters and a nuke caster. So Harumph also only going to have to chew through half the HP pool.
That's true. Mylon Z being very kind, saying, "Oh, tell us your anchor. Let me go ahead and kill him first." As Kane does a casual 8300 pop.
We've got Warlink, who is joining the D Machine Buff and is starting to clear those out.
So it's interesting that so much divergence throughout this race, and yet everyone did the same grind.
Well, except for Tybalt. Tybalt didn't do a grind.
Oh,
Tybalt is right. Grinding on these moon bosses.
You are correct. My bad.
Oh, and he's at 9 key yet.
Using his 1 cabin.
I wonder if maybe Tybalt checks one of these other key item spots, maybe White Spear, just to see if get a little XP from the 10. But
I mean, Palom at 710. That's But again, Adamant Fu. So no, he's going right there. He's not messing around.
I mean, he's got Fu, he's got Yang, so everything that Tybalt needs for 1200 strats is on the table there.
That's true. Are there any bosses you're afraid of here?
Oh, tons of bosses. Magus Sisters would be kind of rough right here. Oh!
So there's a lot of damage here.
It's so fast.
Oh my god.
It's so fast.
And the Moon Veil won't even help because
if Fu lives through the Zantzuzeki, probably has this.
Oh,
but this is rough.
This is rough. We're about to find out because the magic attack is not low here at all.
Trying to get as much damage out as possible.
Here we go.
Oh
man. So now we have Harumph going down with his beefy party. See how he does. We'll probably see a battle speed lower on. No, he won't.
Switching.
Go ahead, sorry.
Switching Yang up in that top slot to maybe Fu isn't quite double Tella's agility.
Probably not. I mean, Fu's agility until manipulated with equipment stays at 20. I mean, if he's got the admin on, that pops up to 35. But Tella's is at probably around 11, 10 or 11 at this point.
Yeah, and we're seeing a little bit slower here. Able to get a few more actions in. I think Tibalt's got this now. Harumph, meanwhile, Berserk Kane is going full bore with these spells.
The Berserks will help to go ahead and clog up the queue, which will make it take longer for Odin to go ahead and get his attack off.
Asuka has finished her Deep Sheen grind, though.
And I have lied to chat, because did I count? No. Not even close. Wow, Harumph just... Whew. And an Avenger to boot.
And an Avenger.
Although if he's doing full-blown Reflect, that probably doesn't help him too much.
Good for a backup weapon. You know, if something goes wrong, throw that on Kane. Maybe he's got like a Drain Spear or Drain Sword, you know?
Scala, I'm sorry, I have an interest in real estate, okay? I find it to be intriguing, and, you know, counting is hard.
Counting is hard.
Thank you. Harumph doing a swag walk. I like this. I like the confidence.
It is one of the few moon spots where if you go directly there, it saves time from having to, you know, warp out or exit out and then go back. But we're getting some flags in chat, and being this is your first time in commentary, we typically have a little meme that we like to do here. You want to do the honors?
Sure. So, as all of you probably know, we can't possibly randomize everything. Zeromas can't be anywhere but at the Z spot. So we have X amount of different sprites to go ahead and mix up, which leads us to wonder, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Does it have a butt? Is butt cute? There's probably more questions that I can't think of off the top of my head.
I'm, you know, as Scala said, X is a lot. I believe we're over 560.
That's crazy. And Lord Goober, I have lurked many streams where you have bestowed your beautiful prose upon us, and I always appreciate the glorious wit you have, my friend, at allowing us to know that it is time for a butteth to be kicketh.
Asuka did a quick stop on the way out and getting checking the last offer, hoping for maybe like a cheeky, hey, that's that is a butt. As an Indiana Pacers fan.
Listen, as a Knicks fan as a kid. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And as a Space Jam fan, because it's clearly that's the attire that we have going on right now. He's not wearing... Unless that's his Wizards gear, which I can't imagine he would do. I'm mistaken. It looks like Harumph just threw on the Avengers, so what do I know?
Yeah, is going double Zerk. Has the nerf though, has the levels, is just going to let Rosa and Kane go to work. Tybalt went back and did do the safety save, so in case something goes wrong with this low level strat.
And we have the easy fights, which we always love to see here on the stream. Zoom Waffle, the butt is implied. So, no, it's probably down there, so somewhere. Alright, well, in addition to not counting dragons, I'm not counting HP. So we have one Big Bang through. It'll be interesting to see how quickly Harumph is able to get to rocks. Looks like we've got...
This should go relatively quickly. We've got Kane and Rosa dealing about 3,800. Well, okay, big range of stuff, but a lot of damage going out.
For sure. So we might see it go directly to rocks here. As Tybalt throws the crystal, and we'll see a different style of fight for sure. Asuka going back to Leviathan. So that's an item that we haven't seen, so we'll see what we get from there, and if it will take her down a path that she doesn't necessarily want to be on. Or maybe it leads to Harp, and she gets her crystal a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. That could definitely be one other path to victory there. This Leviathan fight should be pretty quick work.
Up to her levels, absolutely.
But we do have Harumph and Tybalt going side by side with Michael Jordan up above.
He's looking jacked too. I know we talk about Ruby's legs a lot, but man, look at those triceps. Good for MJ. I go to the gym.
Having a lot of NBA Jam talk going on, NBA Hang Time talk going on.
Oh god, NBA Jam made me so angry. If any of you ever played it, you'll understand that if you build up a big lead in that game, all of a sudden you can't shoot anymore. You'll miss. Oh.
Harumph,
GG's in chat.
Yeah. Harumph coming in 6th place overall with 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 25 seconds. GG's to Harumph. We did have, as Harumph came in 6th, we do have a number of other finishes. Our first place winner is X-Paykraz at 55 minutes. Pyre came in 2nd at 58 minutes. Gale Swift at 59 minutes. Infinius at 1 hour 2 minutes, and Stone Dingley at 1 hour 3 minutes. Very close, 4th and 5th. And we'll be seeing about getting Harumph in here for an interview.
It's a very excellent, just a clinic put on by Harumph, getting go mode very quickly, being pragmatic with his choices for grinding, and just slicing through the moon like a hot knife through butter. So.
Yep, and I missed it as well, Xenocat, what was in the basement. So we will have to see if any of our eagle-eyed viewers were able to pick that one up.
It's like Doublewood Goddess, apparently it was the Legend Sword.
And Super Smith is on, I believe?
I think it's tier 7 or tier 8.
The Alt Smith.
Yeah.
We are joined by Harumph. Harumph, GG's.
Thank you.
So how did you feel about the seed and these very unique set of flags?
You can do a lot of silly stuff without ambidextrous here, so... But the flag set here wasn't conducive to getting a lot of decent gear, so you just have to kind of cobble together something. Fighting 3 black belts in... Elbin Castle here was made for a lot of fun. Here, just see how many rolls it can put on and have her swing at stuff.
And swing at stuff you did. You were the first runner in go mode. I don't know if you've popped into the stream or not. Tybalt is slowly working through this Aromas fight. But tell us, some of your methodology. You didn't go to the moon right off the bat. What was your early thoughts for the seed going into it?
Oh, when I saw the flag, when I saw the objective, I said, "All right, it's complete. It's 4 objectives, complete all of them, because I'm not doing Twin Heart." So
we expect nothing less.
Yeah. So hope everything came together here, and I was like, right, it's remembering the basics. Like, right, remember to check D-Mist. Oh, it's got the package. All right, it's got a cane. Well, I can probably find another fighter elsewhere here, because anyone can be a really unless you're young, anyone can be a fighter in the seed with equipment.
So of course you found Yang nice and quick.
Well,
actually-
Yen here, but at that point, it's like... One thing with Yang is that you don't need any equipment here, so he would have been great to slingshot, but I wasn't missing too much here. I had Kane at that point here with 3 black belts. I had an adamant armor because adamant's on flag here, so Rosa can be, second. I think I could pour him on white mage and white duty here. Palom throwing nukes because I could slingshot Palom, and Tella can go to sleep.
Yeah, and it was really interesting, like I said, with so much divergence, where you focused on the looting early game. Auska and Tybalt both checked Bahamut, which was the King Queen Evelyn right off the bat, and they got Baron keys. That's where they got their Fuso Yaz was out of the Baron throne.
Oh, they're a fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, given how quickly other objectives came quickly, because I knew, Darkness I can wait a little bit here, because I can just do the 2 objectives and just finish it off here. With Hook and Pinktail feeling fairly early here, I don't regret not going to the moon. So...
I mean, you hit go mode so quick, and it just seems like you had a lot of precision with what you had a very clear idea as to what you wanted to do. I was making a point that you had so much, you found Magma Key quick, you find Darkness quick, you can equip anything, and so some runners, myself included, it's like, where do you go and what do you do? It's impressive that you were able to go ahead and navigate all those variables and have such a clear focus on how to approach the seed, and obviously complete it very quickly.
Yeah, like with Omnidextrous here, because anyone can be a fighter here, you kind of assign roles here to whoever happens to fit best at the time here. Rosa and Palom start right. Rosa's going to be the melee damage if I can find some weaponry here. Porum will do, I will be a white mage and do backup stuff here. Once upon a Tella, right? Tella's now healer. Tella's going to be, the anchor for the rest of the seed here, so... you don't have to worry about characters as much. Because it's a lot easier. Depending on what equipment you find here, it's a lot easier to make do with what you have.
So would you say that your decisions are more based off of the loot that you find as opposed to the characters that you have when it's flags like this?
The loot to an extent here, because anyone can equip anything. Again, it's just not a cobbling stuff together here, and depending on what balance of mages or fighters, natural mages and natural fighters you have here, you can figure out here. Like Rosa can kind of do either or, but mages typically still want to have your fighters, so you're fighting, your melee fighters, your melee damage here, because they're. Although they can equip everything here, the stat progression doesn't change or anything like that here. So they're actually going to be stronger, at punching enemies in the face. So,
which is always a good superpower to have.
Absolutely. Well, you were first on the restream, 6th overall. How you feeling about your finish tonight? And we're going to be seeing you on the run back on Friday.
Don't know about the run back as of yet here. Hopefully I'll have a different setup by then here. Hopefully I'll be racing over the next... Hopefully soon here I'll have everything ready here to race on OG hardware. So my green screen won't look as nice here, but it'll be nice here not to be able to rely on something not quite as finicky as what I've got going right now. This is a fun seed, but it has the potential to be quick here. I think this Skull wrote a kind one today, admittedly here, but
yeah, we were talking about that earlier, where there was 2 terminal objectives there with the package and the pigtail, so those could have been anywhere.
And fortunately, here they're all lined up here. The place is exactly where I wanted to go with here. If I do do this again on Friday here, I'll probably race it a little bit less conservatively than I did here. I overleveled a little bit more than I would have liked here. So I think this could have been a little bit faster here, but overall here I'm happy with how I ran it tonight.
Were you we were trying to keep track of how many dragons you were, or how many demon machines you were doing, and Lord knows I lost count. Did you go over? Because with the slingshot, you ended up with about 1.5 million plus on Palm.
I think it was about 8 or 9 I did. 6 is all you would need here for the Palantir to get the nuke. It was more making sure, Porum, getting Porum here to a little bit more of a comfortable level. I probably could have gone with, probably didn't need to have gone that high here with the equipment I did have here. So, 6 would have been fine.
It obviously all, it all went very well. I mean, by the time you're done with that grind, Odin at the massive spot can be tricky, but you just flew right through it like it was nothing. So I think it's safe to say it all worked out pretty well.
Everything was kind of straightforward after. Once you get enough levels here, most spots are fairly straightforward, and Odin was not going to be tricky there.
Yeah, it's he can be rough if you don't have your agility set right. So you went in, you showed him who's boss, and got the swag walk down. And said, "Very well done, race on your part."
Yeah, wasn't going to be too worried about. So normally, I like the only conservative play you go to the save here, but yeah, I had enough levels here. I wasn't worried.
Well, that's all I have for Harump. Do you have anything else, John?
No, thank you for allowing us to watch such a fun race, and thank you for volunteering to be restreamed. And every time we have good races like this, it's always good for the community. So just thank you so much.
Yeah, pleasure's mine. And of course, shout out here to our team tonight here: Bad Karma, Brickety Brick on comms, Xenocat with the tracking, and Scala with the restream, and rolling the fun seat tonight.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on here, Harump, and it's always a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Right. That was our 6th place overall, first on the restream, the Harump. So if you haven't done so, please give him a follow, as well as the rest of our runners. We've got Tybalt still working through the Aromas. Did take a little bit of a wipe earlier. I think he ran out of Star Veils, so is trying to get through this. Meanwhile, Warlink looks to be done with his grind, and Auska is clearing out some moon bosses, getting those objectives knocked out. So hoping that the key items are coming from there.
Yep, we know that she won't find her pink tail up here, but knowing Asuka, she's probably hoping to find the Twin Harp anyway. So we'll see if she can go ahead and do that soon.
Yeah, and during Harump's interview, we did have a couple other finishers. We had Poydrak coming 7th place at 1 hour, 4 minutes, 36 seconds, so only 10 seconds behind Harump. And then Lord Bobry in 8th with 1 hour and 9 minutes. So GG's to everybody who has finished.
A lot of really, really wonderful racers in this community, that's for sure. So, someone in the chat pointed out earlier, I think Rob Fu showing that he needs no friends. And so Adamant Fu looking to go ahead and solo this out. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, and since neither of us are good at math on stream, we're not sure how close Tybalt might be, so is rocking these nukes out, trying to get this Aromas down. We'll see if Tybalt can get it done this time.
That's correct. I'm old enough that if I do this again, I promise to bring my abacus, and I will keep much better track. That's my bad. That's just me not being ready.
I mean, I don't even have an abacus. I feel old, so,
Okay. Alright, so I believe this is Warlink's second attempt with Odin. I think he might have done some either battle speed shenanigans or some agility rerouting. But he looks to be doing quite a bit of damage from the get-go, which is good. So it looks like he's in pretty good shape to get through this before Odin does his lovely attack, which I refuse to attempt to announce because I cannot do it.
The Odin ability is quite powerful, and is can, as we saw with the Bolt, can go even through the adamant armor.
That's true. Fire Blizzard pointing out that Fu took a whopping 193 from the most recent Big Bang, which he was able to somehow shoulder.
Well, he just opened his beard up and just absorbed all the power, and said, "Just give it to me, and I'll reflect it back in."
Much like a mop would absorb the water off of the dirty floor. There it is. There it is. It all makes sense. All right, Warlink's getting his crystal.
Yep, all 4 of our runners have completed the Masamune altar. That Odin spot being Masamune Altar being quite tricky. We'll see. Asuka is going to continue working through some of these moon bosses.
Warlink is not... Oh, we have Tybalt finishing. So
Okay.
GG's to Tybalt.
Got through with the Foo. Get your GG's in chat. With the official time, 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 17 seconds. We will see about getting Tybalt in here for an interview.
Getting through with the Foo, was that an intentional rhyme, or was that just some spur-of-the-moment gloriousness?
Yes.
I like it. To answer your question, chat, Warlink is not doing the swag walk. He is getting himself set. So he'll be saving and then going after his Z fight. Something that I'm going to try to keep an eye on to see where Twin Harp is when we have the spoiler on Tybalt's screen. And then we'll know if Asuka is in the right area or not.
And we are joined by Tybalt. Tybalt, GG's.
GG's.
How you feeling about that one?
Yeah, I'm feeling like I played it almost incorrectly, considering how far behind I felt.
When you have these seeds that are so wide open, Magma Key and Darkness within, 15, 20 minutes and Go Mode impending, it can be really difficult to figure out which way to go. So I wouldn't say you did anything incorrectly or wrong necessarily. I think every step was perfectly logical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess probably using the Wacky Flag to its fullest extent probably would have been the better option instead of, I've got Go Mode, let's just do Solo Fu.
Adamant Fu can just do things, and he takes care of life for you.
And most runners didn't have 10 key items when they hit Go Mode or anywhere close to it. So 1200 strats are not a bad idea, or Solo Fu, because you have to imagine that the grind is going to take that much longer when you don't have the experience bonus. So I don't think it was a bad strategy at all.
I mean, I had the 10 key items once I got the crystal, so I could have, but it was just one of those, like, I've already used all my money to buy what I need. I'm committed at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. So take us back to the start of the seed. You go up and you find that Yang sitting on a lunar dais, and you go in. What made you want to peek that Bahamut spot? Hoping for the King Queen and getting it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, it's an easy spot to check. Plus, it's also a gated location for loot. Like in T Pro, you want to check places like the Moon, Evelyn Castle, Baron Castle, just for higher tier loot. And with S Wild, yeah, shops are going to have just about anything, but are you actually going to be able to afford it?
Nobody was able to, really, especially with the S Quarter on.
Yeah.
The Adamants were only 500,000.
Yeah, only 500,000. That's not that's chump. Just 2 crystal swords. Oh, wait, it'd be 4. And so finding the King Queen Oven there was really nice to really get the experience, because with Young, with Ambidextrous, he is absolutely the worst character in this flag set because of his damage calculation. Edge is by far the best because of his damage calculation. But I figured I'd use what gear I had found in Evelyn, considering I found nothing but black shirts, or black keys in Evelyn. Sure, we'll just give all the stats to Yang. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I believe there were 3 black belt keys in Evelyn Castle.
Yeah, and a bandana too.
There you go.
All the strength that you could want, just sitting right there.
Yeah.
Plus
And then finding Baron Key, I'm like, okay, cool, I've got another gated character check, sweet. Oh, hey, cool, Fu. Ooh, Rat Tail. Okay.
Yeah, the seed was definitely generous in its key items locations. Didn't find a Cecil, didn't find an Edge, as you pointed out looking for. Nobody on Restream found one of those, but gave you enough to get through it. And as you proved, getting through that fight with 1200 strats, really well done.
Yeah.
So, are we going to be seeing you on the run back on Friday?
More than likely. I usually do the run backs to see if I can get a better time, or get higher against people that are like really good at this game, like Pancras.
Well, I'm pretty sure we would. Most people would include you in that category, my friend. So.
Well, he just responded to you there, so hey, anything's possible. So it's like I said, I felt like you ran a really good race. Ninth place, still really good. I think we had 17 in the race overall, so really well done.
Yeah, middle of the pack, generally where I'm usually about. So.
Some of us are striving for that, so.
Did anybody find music?
So they pointed out in stream that Asuka did not find Pinktail, and she is currently going through the moon bosses. And thanks to your spoiler log, we see that Twin Harp is at the Crystal Sword altar. So as soon as she gets up to Wyvern,
which is where she's at right now,
with ever so lovely with Alice, we'll probably get music in about 5 or 6 minutes, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So the old Rivers Fade Fabul play.
Yep, I don't believe she triggered Sheila once, so trying to do the full one shot of this, like.
Yeah. Well, Pan's at Murasame, so I mean, there's that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else for default. Do you, John?
No. Just thank you for running. It was fun to watch, and you don't get to see a solo Foo fight very often, so thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the commentary, both Matty Karma and Brick Rick. I bet you guys did amazing. Thanks to Scala for doing the restream and Xenocat for doing the tracking. We couldn't do this without you.
We couldn't have a show without you volunteering, so thank you for volunteering to be restreamed and letting us watch and talk about you.
No problem.
See you next time, Bolt.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much. Alright, while we were chatting away, Warlink has just finished his Z fight, so we'll try to get him in for an interview to see if he's available or not.
Yep, an official time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, 52 seconds. Came in 11th place. Scythe Marshal finishing at 1 hour, 22 minutes. So just eked him out there. So we'll see about getting Warlink in here.
Xenocat bringing up a good point in the chat that Asuka did not check Demist, did not check the item. So Twin Harp will not be putting her directly into go mode. She still needs to either check for Bool, which she'll probably, if Demist has escaped her mind, as it's happened to all of us on, with me at least more than one occasion. Oh, is she going for Bool right now? No, she's not.
No, this is Harp. Immediately checking Harp.
Yeah. With that pan, I imagine she'll probably check pan and then turn it in. So I think that following this, she'll probably go down, smack Yang, and then be on her way to go mode. So she's definitely on the right track at this point.
Yep, and on the way, we will get some music. And we are joined by Warlink. Warlink, GG's to you.
And once I saw Zeramas, I took that personally.
Oh, are you a 90s NBA fan with a team that frequently ran into the Bulls in the playoffs?
No, I'm the fan that is. I was the fan that was the Bulls.
Ah,
okay. That's a phenomenal meme either way. So GG's, how did you feel about the seed?
As soon as I turned pink to and noticed that it was an objective, my brain just unexpected crash and spent 5 minutes like, what do I do now? How do I get levels to blow up whoever's hiding up and pale them in Oga Boga spot?
Early go mode in the open sea, as we keep saying, can be incredibly difficult to manage for sure.
Yeah, so walk us through some of that early game, some of those early game decisions. I believe you prioritized a little bit of looting early on, or were you actually went up to them?
Yeah, with Starring Darkness, I want to see who's up the moon character. Regardless, we have to go up to the moon. I came close to resetting out that gang, but I kind of want to. I need a warm bite just to drag along just in case. And luckily, I found power staff and strength range just to put on Yang, since Yang's attacks just is purely on attacks. Agility just get the attack multipliers, so that's a good thing for me. And basically with S quarter, shopping is just basically remembering stuff is at, and during that moment my brain just crashed. It's like going through, it's like, okay, where did I found ethers? And just bouncing spot to spot. It's like, are your ethers? No. Are your ethers? No. And found ethers, and it's just basically as core just neutered like my shopping experience, trying to get things squared away since we didn't start with a starting kit.
Yeah, it's very easy to. I mean, with S Wild, you know, there's so many goodies in so many places. It can be difficult to keep track of where you find what. You know, finding something like an Ether 2 or an Ether 1 can be hard because, you know, while normally that might be easily accessible in like an S standard, with so much good stuff all over the place, it can definitely take some time to find those items for sure.
Yeah, I've been running like SMS ladder stuff and got used to as well stuff, but everything that ladder raises is free, and basically remember, oh, this stuff is there, and try to figure out where stuff is. Keep it like a track and saying, okay, I need to come back to this spot later when I get money.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that we noticed that Tavalt and Asuka both checked Bahamut Cave while up on the moon, and King Queen Evelyn is hanging out there where the Baron Keepers left to the food. So that definitely changed how they were routing the sea versus, you know, some of your decisions to go and get that tele powered up, you know, in some of the party choices. So it was really interesting to see so much divergence from the Boron Restream runners.
Yeah, I could check the cave IO, but the only possibly hiding down is Demas, and if it's just basically I know Moon is required somehow, I'll just leave the other checks for later. So good for them for checking theirs. Find a free boss over there. So.
Well, it's a calculated risk, you know, that you can justify both moves. You know, do you want to spend the time, you know, when it's K main, K moon, K summon, you know, do you want to spend the time going out to check, you know, the possibility of even some free bosses there are not necessarily free with those levels. Like if it's Water Hag, you're probably gonna get punched down before you can do it, you know. So I definitely think it's a heads-up play for sure, but there's plenty of validity in not checking it at those early levels. So. It's one of those things that worked out. You definitely applaud the move, but there's plenty of valid, you know, reasoning in not checking it also.
Yep. So are we going to be seeing you on the run back on Friday, Warling?
Actually, I have to get up early the next day to make a 3-hour drive each way for something that I promised my brother to do over the holiday break, so I'm unable to do the run back on Friday.
It's a good man right there doing your friend a favor and giving up on some games. That's like that.
Very well. Well, I don't have anything else for Warling. Do you have anything else for him, John?
I very predictably am good, other than to thank you for restreaming and giving us an exciting race to watch.
Yeah, thank you too for commentating over this. Thanks for rolling for a Jet C. I should have expected it's a Jet C because of your track record recently. And Xenocat, sorry I didn't let you push more buttons than usual, but it's one of those things like, oh, I'm going mode, and I think try to do math and say, okay, how many game machines I can go through versus do I need 10 PMs? And I just go straight for 10 PMs. So. Thanks for everyone, and everyone out in chat. Have a good evening.
And thank you, Warlink, and have a great night.
Alright, it looks like Asuka is about to defend Fabul, which will give her the pigtail, and that will put her in go mode, which is excellent for her.
Did get the harp song, which was "Endless Stairs" from Super Mario 64. So
to the delight of chat, apparently.
Yes, they were really glad that one came up during the interview.
And it looks like, if I recall correctly, Asuka giving the people what they want with a nice little lap around before before taking on the Magus Sisters.
Yep, and blink and you miss it. There was an Octomammoth, and that Octomammoth is gone. Asuka is going to be receiving her pink tail.
She's got the levels, and yeah, she never got the pass from the Fame March freebie, so she will be doing a walk back. It'll be interesting to see if she checks the Sheila spots just because she can at this point. She does not.
Nope. Says nope. Go mode. Let's go.
Rybon, a big fan of always single dip football. It's definitely a valid bit of routing.
And we do have another finisher, E-Ninja 81 in 13th place with 1 hour 32 minutes 30 seconds. GG's E-Ninja.
Rybon, the pass was the Fame March freebie.
So Pinktail turned in, Adamant Armor acquired, Crystal acquired. Asuka will be on her way to the Z fight. This will be pretty standard fare, probably some zerking and some reflecting and some, full damage to Zerobus.
I believe so. I don't think she kept a traditional anchor. Did she keep Tella down for anchoring, or did Tella get levels with the rest of them?
I believe Tella was kept down, so we will see shortly. Starbails, I believe.
Oh yeah, good call. Oh, or
something's in a shop.
I mean, those Stardust rods doubled up will definitely help with the output of nukes for food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some big sales here.
Yeah, this is selling the farm for trying to get up to that number.
Yeah. And as someone who hates clutter, like I find, anytime I see an inventory get cleared out like this, like it actually relieves stress for me. Like I feel good. Oh, that's not. Come on now. There we go.
Shot Fever is like, you want to buy stuff from me?
Probably not the best business model. See, go back to my earlier point with Fu owning the moon. See, he wouldn't do that kind of customer service.
That's true. He wouldn't stand for that.
No.
I mean, but to be fair, if you don't know which Hummingways, is running the shop, it can be a little difficult to chase them down.
Especially if they keep changing the name over and over again.
Absolutely. I mean, they all talk with the same, things.
They do. Asuka getting set with her equipment.
Mm-hmm. And we do have that Tella is low level. Oh, Hummingways are absolutely friendos. I have the hum going in my head just because I mentioned it. So.
Oh, she's so close to that 6,000. Just thinking about it.
What to sell?
Oh,
there it is.
All right. Oh, beautiful. Alright, so she's got the levels, she's got the equipment. I think she's in very good shape here. Even Fu over 2,000, that's got to feel good. On the off chance that there's an Nerf Big Bang. So the Lunar Staff will help with her wisdom for sure, with her willpower.
Yeah, and she's trying to make sure it looks like that she's just got the strongest gear on whomever's going to be getting that Avenger. Due to the way the Avenger glitch will work, put it on, and not going to be able to get those extra stat boosts or anything like that from the Avenger unless you can get an input done. Which could, considering the weapons we do have, it may be one of those times where you don't want the previous item's stats and damage to beat what's on there.
Yeah, there's been a handful of times where I've seen nothing equipped, and then the Avenger glitch is mimicking the no weapon being on whatsoever. It's like, probably should have done that. But it looks like she's got the armor that she wants and the equipment that she wants. She went with the adamant armor on Palom. So we can expect Palom to be doing probably pretty close to quad 9s with those nukes, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, Stardust Rod, Admin Armor, gonna be doing some work.
For sure. So we've got a nice, fun walk down to the moon, and she'll be taking on her. Oh,
Different anchor, quite possibly.
yeah. Did we mention that Seaby is not on? Because I didn't.
I didn't even notice.
Nope.
Oh yeah, that tells level 44.
Mm.
And Patella doesn't really get great gains. I mean, Palom should be outspeeding Patella.
Yeah, especially with the adamant armor with the plus 15.
It just really depends on what Tella is at.
Yeah. When when you don't have levels quite like this and HP totals quite like this, when Tella gets up to like 15, or just one of those kind of gross spots where the agility's not that high, but for the Z fight specifically, all of a sudden the RA calculations get a little wonky. That can be troubling. But with this party, with reflect strats, with the hybrid strats, maybe drop it down to like battle speed 3. But you'll have Avenger clogging up the Q. You've got Adamant, Stardust Rod, Palom, and you have pretty high HP totals. I think this party is going to be okay regardless of the agility.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have not watched Asuka stream, Asuka likes to do weird Z fights. Likes to do some theory crafting. Likes to try to push the limits with her parties, and this is not going to be an exception to that. So is well versed in some of these weird agility situations to be able to know what to do, when to do it. So I don't think this Z fight will be a problem for her.
She has a wonderfully fun stream. She finds joy in this. It's hard not to enjoy her stream. She'll find a key item at a kind of a little clever spot, and she has an infectious laugh, and she has like you said, willingly put herself into a lot of weird situations. She'll go to the moon early just to see kind of what it's like. And for anyone that's sitting in chat that hasn't played the game, kind of that approach that she does is a really good way to kind of get into it. There's nothing quite like actually playing and actually doing the races. So if you haven't played, but you've been lurking for a while, like I did, hop on to the website. Go ahead and thanks, Mubot. Thanks, Scala, for the Discord. Join the Discord. Ask questions. Scala and I were talking before the race started. Just how incredibly nice everyone is here, and it's such a wonderful group of people. I had never spoken to Karma before tonight, and just so warm and gracious like everybody else, and it's been like a casual, fun conversation. So if you can kind of take the Asuka approach, just digging in, and if you enjoy the game, try a couple seeds. If you have questions, hop onto the Discord. There's a newbie section. There are resources. It's just such a wonderful way to spend your time. So I highly encourage anyone sitting there that wants to play, very simply play, and hop on in.
Yeah, and we do have the Pink Puff League, which is a weekly community race designed for newer runners. So if you want to experience racing against other newer runners, you're not going to be finding a number of runners in those races. They are there to help some of these newer people answer questions. So it is definitely, the Pink Puff League is definitely a good place to start if you're interested in racing. But any race, any community club is open and free for anybody to join. So there's a lot of tastes, a lot of different things that can be to satisfy your racing itch. And as we're getting ready to go into this Aromas fight with our final restream runner, so we will cheer her on, get her the GGs, and get through this fight.
Absolutely.
So one more rendition of Michael Jordan's with his fiery basketballs.
Yeah. You have to wonder if we'll see a LeBron sprite at some point as a part 2 for additional Space Jam.
Well, there are, like I said, over 560 sprites. That was the last number that I saw somebody give out. I'm sure that's about to go up here soon as the newer patch comes out. But yeah, it is a lot of things are in this pool. The only person who knows them all is Scalikitty.
That is correct. And Apex is mathematically correct. There are over 6 sprites. That is true. That's a fact. All right. And I swear, if you watch Asuka enough, I swear to God, you can probably hear her cackle and her laugh of joy at this particular sprite.
Yep, as someone who is from Illinois, possibly is a Bulls fan, who knows?
Good.
But here we go. Slow's coming out.
That's a direct. I think we have another one that's going to be reflected in. So this one will serve as the nerf. And a very polite Michael Jordan miss taking out Tella has served his purpose. And we'll take a nap for the rest of the fight over here.
Tella is all set with this fight. Says, I've had enough.
Tella is doing his job. Alright, so we have a jacked Palom. I'm very curious to see what kind of output he has here. Rose getting off of white. I don't know if they actually put the Avenger on Kane or not. I'm guessing probably not. With 3 reflectors, this might be straight up reflect.
Quite possibly, and could be also waiting too. But so far, it looks like reflects are coming.
We have a parry from Kane. So to your point, there's those quad 9s. So to your point earlier, it looks like this very beefy Kane will be more than likely a chemist as needed.
Yep, first big bang's out. Got mediocre bang.
Oh man, guess that's Jordan from the Wizards day, not quite from the Bulls dynasties. Oh man. Also irrelevant, but if anyone hasn't watched Last Dance, phenomenal documentary. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's so good.
Again, as a Pacers fan, I choose not to watch it because
they get into all that though. Reggie Miller's on there with some really good interviews.
I know he is.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. Also, you know what I didn't do? I also did not keep track of the HP again.
Hey, 0 for 4. That's how I go for these streams. I didn't count for any of them, so I kept it consistent all the way through.
I appreciate you. Scala, I like my sports ball. I do. Like, I love my RPGs, but I love my sports ball too. I have layers.
We're all cakes deep down.
I like that. Better than onions.
Definitely better than onions. Here we go. We got more nukes, more whites coming out. We should be getting close here with these quad 9s.
Those double slows basically doing the same as a silk web, so we might be able to go ahead and finish this off before he gets his big bang out.
And Pins can get these casts off.
Those whites do take a while, but
that's it though.
That's it. Hey.
Flash. GG's Asuka. I had the time. With official time, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 27 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. We will see about getting Asuka in here for an interview.
Those are reflect strats done beautifully.
Yep, and if you were unaware, the reason why the reflect strat seems like it is so much faster is because you do only have to do half the health. Final Fantasy IV has a thing with counters where it will only counter direct damage and not reflected damage, and the HP refill for Zeromus is a counter. So if you just reflect spells, you can avoid half of Zeromus' HP.
And even without a silk web, they were able to do that where they only had to nerf for 1 big bang.
And we are joined by Asuka. Asuka, GG's.
Asuka.
That was the stupidest
If you can hear us,
thing
we cannot hear you.
I've ever done in my entire
You're worth the wait,
history.
but we just want to let you know.
I'm not even like being cranky about that. Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves with that worth the wait nonsense.
Come on.
Yeah, welcome to me deciding to do the stupidest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
If this is the dumbest thing you've done in your life, you've had a good life, my friend.
Well, it's a matter of I mean, looking at who I was restreamed up against, I knew I was going to get embarrassed. So I'm like, let's just do stupid things. I don't care. Let's just.
I'm pretty sure the only person here that thinks you got embarrassed is you. So.
14th is. It's par for my course, so I'm okay with that.
Well, how did you feel, other than being self-deprecating as always, when the rest of us know better, how did you feel about the seed in general?
It was easy, honestly. Okay, so, like, I signed up to Restream because I kind of wanted to just meme. It's one of those, if I don't have a shot, why bother? Except if you're going to meme. So, like, all right, I need to find something. I need to find some sword to fall on. And that sword was King Queen Evelyn. So I said, you know what? Let's just fade underground. Let's work this until I absolutely have to go underground. And knowing that there's going to be stuff there. So, heck it. Let's just do the dumb.
Well,
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know. Like I said, I was like, yeah. It was such a. I'm even saying, man, this is such a terrible idea. But usually people avoid terrible ideas on Restream because they want to look good. All right, let's do it.
I can fully imagine. I've seen you stream enough times where I can imagine your thought process is, all right, I'm gonna go check K value, and if it's King Queen Evelyn, that will be freaking awesome. And sure enough, when it pops up, I could hear you laughing all the way here without you even having your microphone on, because for that to just play out the way exactly as you were hoping, I assume, just to go check that boss and have it be that free, and then having a key item as well. I could just imagine you're having that work out.
It honestly just became anything I can do to avoid going underground made me happy, which I was sad that there wasn't a dirty double at Cave Magnus. Because then I could have said I could have done this without going underground at all, just to be a butt.
Unfortunately, the Demas check had the package.
Yeah, that was another active choice. I'm like, you know what? Let's just. I even have like a giant post-it note, like, or it's in my little book circled that I have it. I'm like, you know what? What's dumber than fading underground? Knowing you have demist and not even bothering to check it. So
Also,
yeah.
I mean, with K main, K moon, K summon, I mean, what are the odds that that one specific check would have one of your objectives?
Oh, I totally forgot it was K summon or K moon actually until I saw the ban. I was like, oh yeah, there's key items up here. Okay, cool.
Well, it's such a unique flag set, right? Like, we see a lot of Supermarket Sweep, you see a lot of Fuwario, or, Azizi, 12 or whatever's going to be soon. We get used to kind of these same flag sets over and over again. So when you have something unique like this, it's really easy to lose track of, oh, wait, is that flag on? Or wait, K what? Or where's the pass? I mean, it's really easy to...
It was more so I didn't look at the flags.
Well, that is a critical part of reading.
I just did it. No, yeah.
I appreciated the lap around Cave Magnus. Was that because you knew chat was groaning at the song, or were you just jamming out because you love harp so much?
Yes. It's like at that point, looking at my timer, it was like 1:29. I'm like, I'm probably the last or next to last person to finish this. So you know what? If I put myself through this, and I'll be honest, when I said in the race room that I was shaking like a leaf because I was that petrified, I wasn't kidding. Like races scare me. So you know what? I'm just gonna, if I'm suffering through this, all of you are suffering through this fluffing song.
Well, about that, it just so happened you were checking that while we were interviewing Warlink. So we talked over all of those stairs.
Sorry.
You
know,
are
if-
staring daggers into your monitor right now, aren't you?
You know, if I had the implant that failed and popped out of my mouth, given to me by the dentist, I would be literally throwing it at you right now.
I mean, sorry?
Those that know what's going on, yeah. I had a wonderful prosthodontist appointment today and found out that one of my implants failed and popped out. So I have many more months of healing added on to my already lengthy time. So I was chipper.
Well,
Sorry to
we
hear
are
that.
sorry to hear that, but you know, we have good free enterprise. You know, you still gave us a show. So are you gonna run again on Friday?
Oh God, no! Embarrass myself. Embarrass myself. Embarrass myself two races in a row. I mean, I've pretty much quit supermarket sweep and ladder because yeah. So why would I do this twice in a row?
Okay, can I tell you something? I'm a music teacher when I'm not, playing video games as an adult.
Mhm.
And whenever my kids have auditions and they're scared and they're worried about whatever, what I tell them is that, the people that are watching you are rooting for you. Like, even though they're technically judging you, like they're on your side. You are, like, we've never really spoken, but you are one of the most beloved people in this community. And with the Pink Puff League, you've given such contributions. Like, everyone loves you, like, straight up. And with that, it makes me sad that you would be so nervous and that you feel like you failed or in any capacity.
Oh, well,
when
it's. I think it's part of, and this is a hang up on me, not on anybody else. But there's such an outward facing push towards the free enterprise community being a racing community from like just my perception of it, that knowing that I'm absolutely dreadful at this game, it kind of it makes me feel really small. And I know it's not the intention whatsoever. I know it's not, but it's a hang up that I've always had, knowing that it's so race focused. So
Well-
it's just one of those things. And as for like the teaching or the music thing, yeah, I've been there. I mean, I was an idiot that was on reality TV not once but twice. I totally get it. It's just, yeah. But that all being said, I had fun. Like, I had fun memeing. That was the sole point of me doing this.
That's all that
meme.
matters.
And I'm mad at PK because I told him that we should both race and both be restreamed and both meme. I see you DMing me in Discord. You butt. You fluffing butt.
Well, I think everyone here disagrees that you were bad at the game. You certainly have a significant knowledge base. And racing aside, you're a tremendous part of the community, and we're really grateful for you being on with us tonight.
And I did a grind. My least favorite thing to do in free enterprise is actually get levels. Blah. That was the true meme right there. Getting levels. Bleh. It was fun. And yeah.
Well, as long as you had fun, that is what matters the most. And we had fun watching you. We had fun watching everybody on the restream tonight. So it was a good time to be had by all.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my absolute absurdity, as I did everything willingly wrong, and it was hilarious in the process, I hope.
PK says you should start your Mystic Quest run right now.
No, I actually have to start practicing a certain other game I'm not bringing up, because that's a separate matter.
Ooh, okay.
Because I haven't started de-rusting that, and my run is a week from Thursday.
Whoops.
Is that a GDQ thing?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay.
I mean, you did not know that we were talking to two-time GDQ runner Asuka424?
Karma, no.
I mean,
Please don't.
it's accurate.
I know it is. Just Don't.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Anyway,
On that note, that's
All right.
all I have. I've poked Asuka enough. How about you, John?
Apologies that we didn't find an Eddie in the seed. Maybe it would be more fun that way. But thank you so much for running and for all that you do for this crew, because it certainly would not be the same without you.
it's the pink puffs. They're the ones that make everything awesome. I don't know. I'm a paper pusher. They're the ones that deserve all the love and respect. Scala Kitty running the restream, which is the best part of Free Enterprise, is being a restreamer. That's a totally biased opinion, and everyone should be a restreamer. Xenocat doing the tracking, which is bonkers level of hard. I hate tracking.
Runners.
Yeah, I hate tracking because I forget everything. So, kudos. And then to Karma, yeah, you're okay, I guess. And no, Karma and Brick doing the comms. It's a fun job. And GGs/apologies to everything terrible that Karma said to you, Brick, on your first comms outing.
Oh, stop! He was a gentleman.
So, really?
Yeah, man.
How much, Karma? How much did you pay him to say that?
I don't. Maybe he picked up on the fragility of my voice and was like, you know what? Not this time. See, I don't
Fair.
know. I don't know.
It was only, a quarter of an adamant's worth.
Fair. But yeah, GG's everybody, and don't forget, check out the Discord if you're interested in doing intelligent stuff like the other 3 featured runners were Harumph, Tybalt, and Warlink, and stupid stuff if you wanna fade the underground for memes. It's a fun time. It's a fun game.
Well, we'll be seeing you here soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see. GG's.
GG's.
Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
Me too.
Well, on that note, John, that is the last of our restream runners. We are not done with Free Enterprise, though. I believe we are going to be heading over to see Heartgamer, who's going to be runs the Free Enterprise. So one last shout out to Scala Kitty for doing the restream, Xenocat for doing the tracking. John, very well done on your first round of commentary. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you here in the booth here again soon.
I had a wonderful time, in large part thanks to you and to Scala and to Xenocat and everyone in chat. So this was awesome. Thank you all for popping in, and definitely say hi to Heartgamer. She is wonderful.
Give all the follows to everyone, and we'll see you all next time. Have a great night.